Shalom, shalom. This is Kawhi, aka Pops, out of GMS Chicago, with a brief sit down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, the elder bishops out of Connecticut. Want to send double honors because they do rule well. For the hopeful elect, hope this is edifying. Like I said, but I'm just going to let this play. See, it was about a day ago that it came out. You got over 600,000 views on it. A Florida man kills his wife over an NFL game. Shoots 13-year-old stepdaughter, police says at news conference. So, yeah, so I'm going to let this play. I'm going to read a passage. This is going to be like, I would say a one and done, but like I said, it's a passage in Job that really kind of hits home with this. So I'm going to read that. That's going to be pretty much it. So I'm going to let this play first, and I'm going to read this passage. Here we go.
For being with us today. As you know, anytime you report on a murder, it's a sad situation. It is hugely sad when it's around Christmas. And what I'm about to describe to you is even 10 times that worse. And it started last night in Highland City. Jason Kinney, who's 47, is married to Crystal Kinney. And Jason's been drinking during the evening. And he's watching his football team, the 49ers, play football. Well, they're having a good night. They're winning. In fact, they won big. Sometime toward the end of the game, at around 11 o'clock, an argument began when Crystal suggested they watch something else on television. And the argument got really heated. Crystal told her 12-year-old son to go to call 911. So the 12-year-old flees to the neighbor's house in order to dial 911, and as he's leaving the house, he hears a gunshot. Deputies arrive in less than 5 minutes of the call for service, and when we enter the house, we see that Crystal Kinney, the wife of Jason, is shot in the head and dead. But it gets worse. We go into the bedroom and we see a 13-year-old child, a little girl. She's shot twice. She's shot in the shoulder and she's shot in the face. We later learned the bullet in the face hit her on the bridge of the nose, went straight up and out the top of her head. She is alive in critical condition, but stable at Lakeland Regional Health, and is alert and talking. That's a Christmas miracle. Jason shot her twice and intended to kill her. He didn't, however, shoot his biological child, thank God, who was 1 year old and in a crib. He shot his stepdaughter. He didn't get a chance to shoot his stepson who had run to dial 911. Jason then jumps into his vehicle and flees the scene just prior to deputies arriving. He is going toward Lake Wells. He calls his sister in upstate New York, and he says, I've done something very, very bad. Very bad. I did something terrible. And this is the last time you'll ever talk to me. You'll see me on the news, but I am not going to jail. I'm not going to jail for the rest of my life. So he goes to his father's house, which apparently is currently in probate. His father's deceased. and there's a friend staying there. When he gets to the house,
Fucking advertising.
he immediately goes into a shed. Deputies now are tracking Jason. We set up a perimeter and start yelling for Jason to come out of this shed, which is adjacent to the home. And the deputies hear a single gunshot. When we make entrance into the shed, we find that Jason has shot himself in the forehead, and he too is deceased. I want you to think about this a minute. As the investigations unfolded during the night, and we're still in the preliminary stages, and as I always say when we talk soon, whatever we give you today is subject to modification. We found a note that at some time in the past Crystal wrote, and it was open, where she told Jason, you know, you're drinking, you're using cocaine again. This is not the way the family should be. You need God. Crystal, by the way, goes to church every Sunday. We don't know when she wrote the note. It's not dated. There's no time. There's no indication, but it was open. So did she write it, as they argued earlier in the evening, or had it been some period of time? We can't determine that. We also were able to talk to the 12-year-old, our Christmas miracle. She said, I begged him, don't shoot me, don't shoot me, don't shoot me, and he shot me anyway. This is things that are never supposed to happen. And certainly we are all very, very happy that our little 13-year-old girl is, from every indication, going to survive and thrive. But the investigation is still underway. But this is a family disturbance that apparently had gone on for some time. We talked to another family member, and that family member said, oh, he's been beating on her for a while. So we've checked our records to see if we received any calls at the residence, and we have not. He has never been arrested for domestic violence. But bottom line is, 3 days before Christmas, he shot and killed his wife. He shot his 13-year-old stepdaughter twice and intended to kill her. Called his sister and confessed that he did something terrible, and then rather than be arrested, shot and killed himself. Quite frankly, I don't want to sound sinister, but the only thing he did right that night was shoot himself after those horrible deeds. If he felt that way, he could have taken himself out and not hurt those two beautiful people. So it's sad anytime. It's horrific anytime. He had a chance. He could have gotten mental health help. We'd have done anything we could for him and the family in advance. But he just absolutely destroyed a family, literally, and the mental health of two children without their mama and an infant that will grow up without a mother and a father. 3 days before Christmas. Any questions?
Okay, and I'm gonna cut it off right there and just pull the scriptures because, like I said, this is that. This Edomite, we try to get y'all to understand that he's the basis of men and all these things. So I'm gonna start with that scripture. Let me get that one first. Okay, this is Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. The basis of men. Okay? Want me to hit the blue letter? Actually, you know what? Let's go Daniel 4:17. Let's go to Amplified. We're going to Amplified. Daniel 4:17. Let's see what it says here. Okay, this sentence is by the decree of the heavenly watchers, and the decision is by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High God rules in the kingdom of mankind and gives it to whomever he will, and sets over it the humblest and lowest of men. That doesn't hit the same way, because Esau is not humble, and he's not the lowest. So that's why I said we got to go into blue letter, because see, you got to know when it's going off. So let's go here into the blue letter now. I want you to see. So and this is a lesson in the process of showing you how you have to be able to go into scriptures and then even words to get the real understanding. And so people try to read this at face value. You see, they'll read this and say humble and lowly. That sounds like what the Lord is dealing with. Now, watch this. The Most High in the kingdom of man, and whomsoever he will giveth it. And the basis of men setteth up over it. The basis. Let's look at this. H82:15. Lowliest of station. Let's go look at some more. Low in station. Let's see. Basis. Lowest of station. So lowest of station. So among all the men of the earth. You see, it didn't say humble. It say lowest. So of all the men on the earth, morality, this, that, and other, blah, 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 blah. He has put the lowest of mankind, as you know it, in the chief position. And when he did that, that was the last kingdom. And the lowest of men is Esau, Edom. Okay? Lowest of station. Okay? Basis. Strong's definition, low. Basis. Let's see. Let's go here. A base put down. Okay, somebody that needs to be put down. Okay. Let's see. Lowliness, lowest state or condition, low place. So basically, he's the basis of man. He actually shouldn't be in rulership, but the Lord can do that, and that was his choice. So now, I did that to go here. Let me go here. I want to go to the Job. let me go into Job. And like I said, it's going to be 15. Job 15. And what I'm going to be at about 17. Job 15 and about 17. Okay. Okay, we're going to start at 16. Job 15 and 16. How much less that which is abominable and corrupt, a man who drinks iniquity like water, the basis of men. Okay? Satan himself. Okay, and what I mean by that mindset and all this other kind of stuff, you got me. Hold on. Let me not talk about it. Let me show you. Let's go Isaiah. Actually, let me leave that there. Let me go over here. Go get Isaiah. And I'm going to jump around here. As they say, Hebrew hopscotch. Jump over here real quick and get this. We're going to get Isaiah. Because we are in the last days. So let me go to Isaiah, the 14th chapter. I'm going to pull up at one. I'm going to bounce around in here. Okay, Isaiah 14, I'm starting 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, Babylon being America right now, okay, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? What made America the golden city? This is the place where you can come in the streets with gold. This is the place where you can come and anything you want to be, you just come here with hard work and dedication and you can make it. So everybody wanted to be able to set up and be able to have a society like America. And as of right now, this is what you got around the world: democracy and all this other kind of stuff, which is basically crazy, demonic, crazy rule, democracy, demon rule. The Lord have broken the staff of the but see, watch this. Verse 5, the Lord have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. So who's calling the shots right now? Who is that? The Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Bilderbergs, the DuPonts, and the Gettys, just to name the few. The Rothschilds being at the top of the fucking food chain. Okay? Who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke? He that ruled the nation in anger is persecuted and none hindered. So all they've got, they don't even have love for their own people. That guy there, he's what they know as Caucasian. His face was of that persuasion. But guess what? He had that whole scenario. And it talked about cocaine and some other shit that was going on and this, that, and other. And we've been telling these guys, you in your last rulership, you might as well go ahead on. And it talked about him using cocaine again and doing all this and doing all that. Well, like I said, because that's what this evil man does. He doesn't know how to rule uprightly. It's not in him. Okay. Okay, so now let's look at this. Hell from beneath is moved. I'm going to jump down to 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So all these other people wants to rebel and go against this Edomite. Okay? And this Edomite can feel it. That's why so many of them voted for DJ Trump. Okay, that's why they voted for Trump the way they did. Because they wanted to raise back up. When he said he wanted to make America great, as a so-called Negro, as an Israelite. And what was funny is the fucking Northern Kingdom, the so-called Mexicans and people of Latin descent, didn't understand that they wasn't included in it either. But the so-called Negro understood when he said make America great again. He was not talking about for us. Okay. Okay. And all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Okay. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worm covered thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weakest the nations? He used them. He used them. Hydrogen bombs, scared the world. Did that. Everybody thought who could fight against them. Okay. Okay. So now look at where we was at. It said Lucifer, right? In verse 12. Let's slide down to 16. They they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? So now you got Lucifer there, but you got man here. So now we talking about a nation of people that spirit was placed upon, and that man being one of them. Okay, that man being one of them. Okay, simple as that. Is this that man that okay? They that shall see thee shall they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? The man, like I said, who wanted to square off against America? And now you got America and Russia with their nuclear bombs. So who wants to square off against them? But they both Edomites. They both nationality is people that of Edom, Esau, Edom. Okay, now let me go to Job. We go back to Job now, 15, 18, repeat about 18 or so. Okay, verse 16, how much less that which is abominable and corrupt, a man who drinks iniquity like water. I will show you, hear me, and that which I have seen I will relate. So let me basically, we'll break this down for you and show you what's going on. What wise man have not hid, but have freely communicated? It was told to them by their fathers. So this is passed down. You people that don't want to understand who this Edomite is, but this Edomite and his way of doing things and his evilness is passed down. Okay, and if you tune in and understand the word, you'll see who this is. Okay, unto whom alone the land was given, and no stranger intruder or pass among them, corrupting the truth. The wicked man suffereth with self-inflicted torments all his days. That's why we've been telling them, y'all might as well fire up and get yours, get the last hurrah out while you can, because you don't get another go around. You don't get another shot at rulership. When this one is over with, when Yahushua comes back, this Edomite does not get a chance to go back into power ever again. He's going through 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, and then he's going to be burnt up. Through all the years that are numbered and laid up for him, the oppressor. A dreadful sound of terror is in his ears. He can hear it coming. He can feel it coming. This word is being pushed to the four corners, and this man's rulership is coming to a close, and he can feel it. And a dreadful sound of terror is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. The dwelling of robbers are not at peace. Didn't they steal this land? Didn't these Edomites, didn't the people with those color faces come over here as criminals released from prison over there in Great Britain and came over here and took over this land and took out the so-called natives and whatnot? Wasn't that 1492 and all that when they showed up and did this, and then those people from Great Britain had a chance to come over here as well? What is this, huh? Okay? He believed that he will not return. He believes that he will not return out of darkness, and because of his guilt, he is waited for by the sword of God's vengeance. He does so much evil now that he knows that he's got a price to pay. Okay, he knows that he's got a price to pay. Matter of fact, since I'm in Job, let's go here because that's that on that. Let me go Job 9:24, and that's gonna be it. This Edomite knows that he's the wicked, and he can feel his wrath of the Lord is coming. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges, of his judges, so that they are blinded to justice. So the so-called real judges, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, okay, which is prominently known. But then we talk about the speckled bird too, because we've been scattered among all the nations, so we go look like some of all the nations. Okay. Okay. If not, where the if not God, who then is it responsible for all this iniquity? Okay, so now let me go and get this here. Let me go and get it here so you can see it in natural form. Job 9:24 and what it says. Because the Lord is kind of, I won't say facetious, but I'll say he's got kind of a wit to him. He says, Job 9:24. For the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges there. So who the world ignorantly call Jesus Christ, which his real name is Yahweh Shai, they painted that picture of cheesy rice, Jesus Christos, who the world calls Jesus Christ. They put that picture up and a whole different set of doctrine and what these scriptures actually mean and that whole type of thing and a twisting and perverting of it and this, that, and other, not going into the Hebrew, not going into the Greek to get the real meaning of what these scriptures actually saying. It says, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. The Lord is basically telling you through Job, if not, where and who is it? So he told you that this is who he is. And if you don't believe it, then you tell me who he is. Look at this man, M.O. Look at what he does. Look at what the fuck he has done. Okay? Period. And if you saying that it ain't him, then you show me who it is then. Because who, let me see. You gonna go back to where it was at, or you gonna do something different? Never know with this place. Never know with this thing. Okay.
Free mahjong. No Wi-Fi needed. No.
The head and dead.
Okay. Look at that. What is he? Blue eyes? The whole deal. Ain't that the almost the he ain't quite got blonde hair, but he's got what, brown hair, blue eyes? Isn't that the all-American boy? That's the all-American boy, huh? And this is who y'all talking about. This is who's supposed to be that. Huh? Yeah. Like I said, this man is wicked, and this is what he does. So, hey, they losing it. They losing it. They know that they're not gonna get a chance to come back up. If they ain't got theirs, they don't feel themselves being able to get theirs. And since they can't get there, they taking out their own families now. Okay. And but the so-called Negro male or African American male is supposed to be the most violent motherfucker on the planet. Nah. So I hope that's enlightening, and for those who have never heard that before about this Edomite, know who the enemy is. Okay, he's the enemy of existence. He's not just the enemy of of this planet. He's the enemy of existence. He would destroy the whole planet. If he can't have it, he'll destroy the whole planet. With his nuclear weapons, he would absolutely destroy the whole planet. But the Lord is going to, for the election's sake, he's going to stop that and put him in captivity and let him do 1,000 years of hardcore slavery with the 17 other nations. Okay? And after that, they will get rounded up and exterminated through fire. So with that, I'm going to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Again, double honors to the apostles and elders and elder bishops out of New York and Connecticut, respectfully. But hopefully, hope that's edifying for the rest of the world, above all.